Ladies, I know it goes without saying, but it must be said. Somewhere along the way, high maintenance became an insult. It became code for difficult, demanding, bougie, expensive, too much, not chill, too structured, too particular. How many of you have been called high maintenance before as a slur or as an insult? I know I have. And I right now don't take it as an insult or a bad thing anymore, and this video is going to break down why and help you understand why it's not something to be ashamed of. And somewhere along the way, ladies, women were taught that if you want to be loved, you should be easy. If you want to be chosen, you should be low effort. And if you want to be kept, you shouldn't ask for much. But have you ever noticed, ladies, have you ever noticed that the women who are labeled high maintenance are typically the ones who are the most self-aware, the most self-honoring, and the most structured? They know what they need, they know what they prefer, and they know what they will and will not tolerate. And that's on period. So today we're going to unpack what high maintenance means on an identity level, because high maintenance, contrary to popular belief, isn't necessarily about money. Money is a component, but there's so much more to it. It's really about standards, and standards are sacred, they are spiritual, and they are scriptural. So, ladies, we need to know that high maintenance is, or before I dive in, a quick introduction, I got really excited there. My name is Ashana. Welcome to LAJA. This is a channel for ladies who are unapologetically high maintenance in their standards, physicality, and boundaries and expectations from themselves and also from life in general. If that sounds like you, I encourage you to subscribe, stick around, like, and join my community, LAJA Soft Living Society, which is linked in the comment section and the description box of this video. So, ladies, high maintenance is a nervous system standard. And what it really means is that my baseline, my floor, is elevated. It doesn't mean being dramatic, it doesn't mean being entitled, and it doesn't mean being spoiled, although I don't think being spoiled is a bad thing, but that's just me. But that's not what it means. It just means that you are regulated. It means that I sleep properly, I take care of my skin, I protect my time and my peace, I regulate my emotions, I maintain my appearance because I'm worth it, I organize my finances, I expect respect and good treatment, and I prepare in advance and ahead of time. Low maintenance often means I can tolerate discomfort without addressing it, but high maintenance means I notice discomfort and adjust accordingly. This switch or this nuance is awareness. That is nervous system literacy, ladies. When something feels off, like a tone shift or a messy environment or a late payment, or even a misaligned schedule, ladies, high maintenance women correct it early and as soon as possible. They don't wait till things fall apart. And that is not drama. It's called prevention. And prevention is sexy over here. So why does society shame women for having needs? We're going to go deep on this topic in this video because women are often praised for being easy, go with the flow, not asking for too much, not like other girls, low effort, low maintenance. Even though for me personally, I don't believe there's anything like a low maintenance woman. I made a post in my community, LAJA Soft Living Society, on the myth of the low maintenance woman. So I encourage you to join that. The ladies in there had so much to say about it, and I really encourage you all to join and let me know what your thoughts are on it. It's a really amazing perspective shift, and it really makes you think about things that we label ourselves. But I digress. But why are women shamed for having needs and wants and desires? It's because convenience benefits others, ladies. A woman who requires quality sleep, emotional consistency, financial transparency, planned dates, clean environment, clear communication, gifts, attention, affection, respect, any kind of effort. And what this does is that it exposes those who are underdeveloped. It sends the signal. High maintenance at an identity level, as I said earlier on, it means I don't shrink my needs to be digestible. And that unsettles people who benefited from your self neglect, from your self erasure. The moment you require consistency, people who thrive on chaos feel uncomfortable physically and also in their behaviors as well. And the moment you require effort, people who prefer convenience label you as difficult. But there's a difference between being difficult and being discerning. So, ladies, we need to know that high maintenance is actually governance. And here's what high maintenance women actually do. They maintain themselves. Yes, obviously. I know it says that in the name, high maintenance or self-governance. Maintenance includes grooming, fitness, hormone regulation, wardrobe curation, financial tracking, emotional processing, boundary reinforcement, and routine protection. In my community, I did a masterclass on the 10 pillars of expensive energy, where I went deeper on these core concepts and these core pillars, where you can really understand what expensive and high maintenance energy actually means. Maintenance is labor. Most people avoid maintenance and live reactively. They fix things after they break. They apologize after they explode. They clean after clutter overwhelms them. They rest after burnout. They budget after debt accumulates. High maintenance women take a different approach. We are preventative. We replace before it's broken. We rest before exhaustion. We communicate before resentment, we plan before chaos, and we decline before overwhelm. Maintenance is preventive power, and preventive power feels expensive because it is structured. The next concept is this: high maintenance equals high self-awareness. Low self-awareness or low awareness tolerates mediocre food, mediocre treatment, chaotic environments, inconsistent communication, emotional volatility, and disorganization. High maintenance women feel misalignment quick because they sense the energy shifts, the disrespect, the instability, the cheapness, the disorganization, and the inconsistency, and they correct it on the spot immediately, not aggressively, not dramatically, but decisively and swiftly. That decisiveness is often misread as too much, but what it actually is discernment. Discernment protects peace, and peace is super expensive. And the truth is this, ladies: high maintenance women cost more because we bring more. Let's talk about this practically. A regulated, polished, emotionally intelligent woman requires less chaos, creates emotional stability, solves problems efficiently, raises standards in a room, manages her time well, maintains her body, maintains her home, maintains her finances. She's not draining, she's not reactive, and she's not impulsive. Who wouldn't want that? Who wouldn't want that in their life or in their circle? Please tell me. She's structured, and structure increases value. That is natural economics. When you invest in yourself in the form of therapy, skincare, nutrition, education, coaching, fitness, organization, financial literacy, you raise your value as a woman, and access to you should reflect that. High maintenance does not mean expensive to exist. It means expensive to underserve, because you bring value to whatever space, environment, or room you step into. And it's important that we recognize that as high maintenance women. Another thing to note is this: high maintenance is self-respect embodied. Let's simplify everything right now. High maintenance means, as I said earlier on, that I eat intentionally, I sleep intentionally, I groom consistently, I track my money, I protect my time, I prefer quality, I decline chaos, I expect consistency. That is self-respect embodied. Meanwhile, women who are praised as low maintenance often ignore their body's signals, accept bare minimum treatments, avoid confrontation, downplay their preferences in order to fit in or to not seem like those other girls. They tolerate instability. They underinvest in themselves. That is not humility, ladies. That is undercare. That is self-erasure. And under care and self-erasure always compounds into resentment. And ladies, resentment is super expensive, and not in the good expensive way, but expensive in the sense that it costs you your health. Negative emotions are tied to a plethora of diseases in the body. So it behooves you to not downplay your needs and your desire to come across as more palatable, because you're literally making yourself sick when you feel resentful, when your needs and wants and desires are not met. So here's the identity shift. The question is, if being high maintenance makes someone uncomfortable, is it because you're difficult? Or is it because you're no longer easy to underserve? High maintenance at an identity level means I require alignment, effort, intentionality, quality, and stability. And I offer the same, because again, ladies, we're not asking or seeking. This standard starts with us. It starts with what we accept from ourselves and reflect it out. We're not expecting things we don't already give ourselves. So we are offering the same things we're expecting others to do and give to us. The final part is important. High maintenance women are not entitled. They reciprocate. We reciprocate. We are punctual, we are groomed, we're emotionally regulated, financially responsible, and we are organized. We require and we give what we require, and that's integrity. And integrity cannot be bought, ladies. So I'm going to move on and say this. High maintenance also requires structured softness. It doesn't mean hard. It does not mean cold, harsh, or controlling. It means structured softness, which is reflected in the beliefs where you know that you care for yourself deeply, you maintain yourself consistently, you refine yourself continuously. So you don't collapse under pressure, you don't spiral into chaos, and you don't settle for mediocrity. High maintenance women are soft. We are not loose. We are calm. We're not careless. We're kind. And we are not convenient. Sorry. So I'm going to close with this. High maintenance, as I've said in several of my videos, ladies, is not about designer labels. Although I love all those things and that is a component of it, it's really about having internal standards. It's about nervous system regulation, environmental order, personal upkeep, emotional maturity, financial awareness, strategic living. Expensive women are high maintenance because we maintain ourselves. And when you maintain yourself, you become too structured for chaos. You become too aware for mediocrity. You become too refined for the bare minimum. And standards are not arrogant. They are self-respect in action. Ladies, if this resonated with you deeply, if you're ready to stop shrinking your needs, feeling resentful after you undercut and downplay your desires, if you want to embody high maintenance at an identity level and not just at an aesthetic level, then I invite you to join LAJA's Soft Living Society. Inside is popping. We don't chase trends. We build nervous system regulation. We do hormonal alignment, financial structure, environmental order, soft discipline, and elevated identity. We normalize structure, we refine standards, and we practice regulated luxury. We build lives that feel calm, maintained, and intentional. High maintenance, as I said earlier on, but I will repeat it again, it's not about being demanding, it's about being developed. And if you're ready to become too structured for chaos and too refined for mediocrity, join us and I'll see you on the inside. Thank you so much for watching. If you made this far, comment a red heart to let me know that you made it all the way to the end, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.